Hello guys, welcome back to another allotment video by Daniel and John. And John, what are we doing today?
Right, so we've decided to build our own fruit cage, and the reason we've decided to build that is that a lot of them I've looked at, even the good quality ones, they're only 1.8 high, 9 high. We want some at 2.4 high so we can walk around in it, and we want something that we can build shelves and the things structurally. So we're basically going to put it together in 4 squares.
4 big squares, yeah.
We bought 30 pieces of that. It's £3 something each from B&Q.
Yeah.
It's 2023. It was cheaper to do that because structurally it's thick wood. If you bought this as preserved wood, if people might be asking why we didn't buy preserved wood like those, it's just the sheer cost of these 3 times as much,
and we want wood that's structurally
strong, so we can get some wire mesh onto it properly. We're going to creosote it to preserve it,
and use some creosote,
and we know how good that stuff is. We're going to bring these 2 together, put some, we've got Gorilla Glue because it is good, glue that and then put a screw in there. I'm just going to build the frames. Really, it's quite an easy method if it all works out. We'll share with you what went wrong, what went right, the screws we've got.
And this video will be in a few parts, won't it?
Yeah. And
so what we'll probably do now, today is we'll build the frame and sort out the treatment of the wood, and then in a few days' time we'll probably put the netting on, won't we?
Yeah, put the netting on.
See how far we get.
Yeah, I'm sure it won't take long. So we've got one side of the fruit cage done.
I'll just pan it.
Side or front, whatever you want to use it, and you'll see we've got 2 sides, bottom and the top, and 2 middle bits. So this is CLS 2.4 metres, yeah, and these bits here are 80 centimetres from the edge, these middle bits, so it's even, gap in the even. You see this little clamp we've got here, look at it, it's a corner clamp, and you can use it in the middle here, and basically you hold it together like that. Now these are cheap as chips, probably about 20 quid. If you're going to build one of these, get yourself one of these. It works in the middle, and it also works here. Ours has had a lot of use, so it comes to bits, and it also works in the corner there.
But it just allows you to get everything square, doesn't it?
Yeah, so you haven't got to worry about it. So once you've screwed it together, that gets screwed into there and locks it in place. And before I've put it in, I've put a drop of glue in, and we've used 2 of these.
Big screws.
Just to refresh people's memories, these are, it's on there somewhere, 5 by 70, and we've put 1 there and 1 there, and that's it. So that's the first panel done. We've had to do no cutting with this, and that's the idea. We don't do any cutting. We make it nice and simple. And this has taken us, about half an hour to do, in all honesty.
Just the first one to get it set up.
So
then we've got to do another one, haven't we?
Yeah. So
once you've done one, it gets a lot easier.
Yeah. So remember the gap between these 2 here, from there to there, is 80 centimetres. Yeah.
So we're going to build another one, aren't we? And then we're going to bolt these 2 bits together. Pretty much.
The side or the front. I mean, you could even use that as a door area here. So we've got quite a bit of the frame up already. We've built these 2 side frames, and we've used a clamp down there.
I'll show you.
And we've attached the bottom, and then another one, and we've just tied these 2 side bits together with these screws again. So roof's done, and the next bit we're going to do is...
this is temporary, this, isn't it? Just to hold it while we were doing it.
Wobbling. We've had a spirit level just to make sure things are straight. We're going to put a strut down the middle at the back there just to strengthen that up, and then we're going to run struts across the inside to stop any movement backwards and sideways. And really, apart from that,
we are going to actually build a door as well. We just probably do that later.
Hinges and a lock, and this is 2.4 metres high.
Should I just pan back? Just show you what it looks like.
Just be, the only thing I would say to you, just be aware, check your allotment rules, because different allotments have, depending on where you are in the country, they have certain rules and guidelines, which is fair enough, keeps things tidy. Just check the height you're allowed and things. This is 2.4 metres.
That's allowed, isn't it?
So we're
Yeah.
allowed to this swamp.
And it's smaller than the maximum size one.
You tend to find that the biggest building you're allowed on your allotment is normally the fruit cage. I mean, we can have one at 8 metres long if we wanted to, but we don't want to do that. But
no, that would be just...
this is more than enough, and we're going to put some shelves or something on here as well, so we can get more things in here, more fruit bushes like
Yeah,
that.
we're going to build it out a bit, aren't we?
Yeah,
That's
so,
why we kind of use the thicker timber.
Yeah.
We've got to put a bit of
Just need
creosote on the bottom, and just when we finish the main construction, we're then going to protect it,
yeah.
aren't we? Yeah.
So things are looking
Things are
fairly
going
good.
well.
Bear in mind, we've done no cutting with this.
No cutting, just screwed it all together.
2.4 metre lengths from DIY.com B&Q. It's about cheapest. CLS, in case you've forgotten. £3.47 a piece, I think. Was it?
Yeah.
£3.15.
Yeah, it
sorry.
was cheaper, yeah.
So,
So what we'll do is we'll come back once we've got a bit more done and
Yeah.
show you the results.
yeah, thanks for watching again.
Okay, so as you can see, we've moved on quite a bit. We've finished the construction. We've added a lot of upright supports. We've also put the doorway in. We need to just put a horizontal piece, but we'll do that another time. John is just applying the light brown creosote. It's this one. It's very runny, so you need to wear old clothes and definitely gloves and just let it run down. It's kind of dried here. That's just been put on, but dries a nice light brown. What have you got else have you got to add to this?
Well, I would say providing you've got a drill, and you're going to need a battery drill for definite. Ideally some wood glue, plenty of screws, those gold screws, and it will need 2 of you to build it, to put it up and manage it.
You have to hold the sides, don't you?
Yeah, and we have used, so we have 30 pieces of CLS. We've got that piece left and that piece left,
Just
and that's
showing
it. So it's like 28.5 pieces, so you need a little bit more for the door. I've got to cut a bit to go in the door. Forgot to
Yeah,
do that.
as I said, we need to finish that as well.
But all in all, it was quite a simple process. You do need that corner clamp, I would say, just to help you along a bit, but if you haven't got one, then it's fine. Take your time, measure, and I think everything will work out for you. Hopefully this is a bit of a solution for you. We can put some shelving here, that's why we've built it a little bit higher.
Yeah, so we can put some, as John says, we can run some shelving on top from
We're
here to
planning
here.
to do this, so we can have like a second lot of bushes or stuff we don't want eaten safeguarded in
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
in pots or whatever, containers. So that's going to help quite a
So
lot.
this is obviously part 1. So obviously part 2 of this video will be with us
We'll get the mesh on.
when adding the mesh and finishing the
Now,
door at some point.
Talking about the mesh, we're going to use galvanised steel mesh, and we're going to use, there's different size holes in it. I think it's 13, 25, whatever. We don't want butterflies coming in here, but we do want the bees coming in and pollinating things like strawberry plants or whatever fruit we've got in here, so we'll get the sort of appropriate gauge to put on. We've got monk jacks apparently around here, so we do need to make sure this is a fairly secure area for the fruit, and plenty of birds around here again, so we do need to make sure it's very secure. But all in all, it's a cheap way of doing it, I think. It gives you a lot more flexibility because you can add things to this. You could even add a plastic roof, and you can get some more water. Even though it's a fruit cage, you could make this into like a combi little greenhouse stroke fruit cage if you wanted to, which is not a bad idea, I don't think. But we'll see how we get on. These things, you know, develop as you're building things, as I'm sure all the other...
We'll see him in part 2.
Yeah, how we get on. But so far it all went okay with minimal cutting. The only bits I had to cut for the...
I'll just come over a minute because it's a bit windy, so I might not be able to hear you.
The only bits I had to cut was for here, but you could do that with a handsaw and just the bottom bit. And obviously we'll have to cut a little bit for the door, but apart
We've
from
got
that,
to make the door, haven't we?
fairly straightforward.
But we'll
really.
use mesh on the door, and we'll just have like a latch, won't we, that comes across and just locks it off.
Just lock it off and done and finished. But you can see the difference as creosote makes. It blends it in with the surrounding area. And
Yeah, so I showed it earlier, didn't I? This is kind of what it dries like.
and just remember, the reason we went for CLS was structurally it's a lot stronger than the cheaper wood, like what we've built the frames out of.
Should we just show them? Should we just show? So basically, we keep going on about this, but this is the difference between what some fruit cages are constructed with and what So we're using this stuff, and the alternative is something like this. So you can see the difference.
But the reason we went for CLS was price. It was like $3.15 a length,
It was
whereas
a lot cheaper, wasn't
something
it?
as thick as this would be perhaps £6 a length.
And you're creating a structure that's a lot more stronger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we can bolt things to it.
You know it's not going to fall to bits
You know,
either.
if we decide we don't want to do fruit long term, it could be a chicken coop.
Could be anything really.
You know, so if we build it potentially multi-purpose, then we're
it will look a lot better once we've got the mesh and the door on.
and once it's painted up, it looks a bit bright at the moment, but
Yeah.
you know, it needs to age a bit. But fortunately, we're in the beautiful sun again. We've been fortunate again today, middle of April. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll come back to you and done a little bit more. Thanks for watching again.